Hey, this is Jody from FoodStorageMadeEasy.net. I'm out here in my garden today. Every time that I've posted pictures or things about my gardens, everybody says, how did you make those? Where did you get them? And so today I have a special treat for you. I've commandeered my husband Mike to help give a little mini tutorial on how to make your own garden box. So he's going to show you how to make a simple kind of 4x4 box using vinyl fencing parts. And hopefully it will be helpful and you can make your own or commandeer your husband to make yours if you're unhandy like I am.
Hi, this is Mike, Jody's husband, showing you how to do something else. We're going to make a garden box. So people have asked about how I made Jody's garden boxes, and so we've got somebody who wants to get a garden box we're going to make for them, Jody's mom, and we're going to make her just a 4x4 garden. So what we got is we got a bunch of vinyl fencing parts here. You've got a fence post and then just fencing slats. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut the fence post into 4 segments. We're going to cut the slats into 4 segments each. So we're going to take this, we're going to cut it into 18-foot sections. And then we're going to take these slats are 16 feet, we're going to cut them into 4-foot sections. And then we're going to make, basically we're going to cut holes in the post and slide the slats into those holes. First we're going to mark the 18-inch mark all along this post. And since this post that we got is 6 feet, it's 72 inches, which is exactly 4 18-foot sections. And then you can use any straight edge, and by straight edge I mean like a T-square or something, if that doesn't make sense. So this is the way that I cut easy things like this. For cutting vinyl, you're going to want to use a metal cutting blade if you have a Sawzall. If you're using a circular saw, just use whatever blade you've got, it should be fine. But a metal cutting blade has smaller teeth, which work better on vinyl. Now that I've got my cuts, I'm just going to eyeball the other lines. I'm usually pretty good at that. Just go like that. Alright. So there's one. And we're going to have to just make 2 more cuts and then we'll have our 4 posts. Okay, so now on my nice 16-foot length, I'm just marking now my 4-foot sections for us to cut. 16.
And we're doing double tall boxes, but you don't have to.
With this kind of a project where you're cutting a lot of things, you're trying to make straight lines, a table saw is going to be a lot easier. I'm going for convenience here, which is why I'm using the Sawzall. But yeah, if you had
we don't have a table saw,
and we don't have a table saw, with the table saw you would just take this and go whoop, and cut it right straight through. With the Sawzall, you'll get kind of a funny cut, but it's not really that big of a deal because they're just going in the end of your posts anyway.
Right, they don't show.
And I always unplug my tools because I have kids. Okay, so now we've got our slats cut, we've got our posts cut. The next thing that we're going to do is we need to make a hole in this for all of the slats to go in. The way that we're going to do that is for these ones, since this is a smaller box and our caps are smaller than the ones I did for Jody, I'm just going to space it down about 1 inch. So I'm going to make a line here, spaced down 1 inch from the top of the post, and then I'm going to take these and just hold them up to it. What you're going to want to do though is find the center. So when I do this, I'm going to center this up. These are 4-inch posts, so I'm going to want to mark at 2 inches. These are about 1.5 inches wide, so I'm going to want to center this on the 3/4 mark and have my 2 lines going straight down just like that. So when I draw these lines, I'm going to get a hole kind of like that, starting 1 inch down from the top of the post. Okay, so I'm going to take these and put them on that line. I'm just going to trace them because we're going to do this a little tighter. I'm going to do that once more. Down here, I'm going to make our 2-inch mark. I'm going to make 1.5 inch marks. I'm just going to mark those down.
I think someone might be at our door.
So that I have a guide. So, the way that I figured I would do this today is that I'm just going to trace down the sides of this. There.
It's hard to see. There we go.
1, 2, there. Try to get this nice and centered. That is actually pretty nicely centered. Down here. Okay, so I've got my lines drawn where I'm going to cut, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a starter hole with the drill. I use a nice big drill bit so that I don't have to drill multiple holes or do any messing around with that. And what I'm going to use to cut it is a jigsaw. Now, not everyone is going to have one of these on hand. I don't think they're that expensive, but you can see that mine's a really old model. I've never actually bought a jigsaw, so I don't know how much they cost. But I imagine they're probably in the range of 30 to 40 bucks if you just go down to Walmart or something and get one. Otherwise, if you know anyone who does even a little bit of carpentry, they probably will have one on hand, and you can ask if you can borrow theirs. But a jigsaw is going to be really good because the blade's kind of small, and a jigsaw is made to do corners. So it's got this scrolling feature where it'll turn side to side, and it makes it a lot easier. So let's show this here. Okay, so you can see how that goes in there. A little looser than I'd like, but when you bury the posts, everything tightens up. You bury them up to here, and then what we're also going to have to do is you're going to have to make another cut on the side of this post for the slats going across, and then on each of the other 3 posts you're also going to make a cut on each of those sides so that you can put all the other slats in when you assemble the thing all together.
So here we are with the finished product. Now all we have to do is bring this down to my mom's house and dig some holes wherever she wants to place it in her garden, and we'll install it in there, throw some dirt in, and she's ready to go with her square-foot garden. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing in our gardens this year, you can visit us at foodstoragemade.easy.net, and if you go ahead and try one of these boxes, we'd love to have you comment and let us know how it goes.